Hello everyone. Welcome back to my today's session. Hope all of you are fine. I am also fine. Actually, I would like to tell you that nothing should stand in the way of our learning. Everything can possible. And technology has made these impossible things to possible. And we are enjoying that benefit right now in present Bangladesh. So, dear students, let me introduce myself. I am Anwar Hussain. I am an assistant teacher in English, Jaintapur Government High School, Jaintapur, Sylhet. So, let's start out my today's session. So, my today's class is for class 9-10, and that is English first paper, unit 7. So, before starting the class, I would like to show you something. What do you see in the picture? There is another picture for you, that is GIF, if you know. What do you see? They are doing something, showing you something, but they don't say anything, but they use their language. They express their language using signs and gesture, using fingers, you know, expressions. So can you guess what I'm going to start today with you? Yes, I think you can. So my today's topic is the art of silence. All right. So when you are talking about the art of silence, one thing definitely will come in your mind in the context of Bangladesh, that is Partha Pratim Majumdar. So there are some pictures you can see, that is, you see the first picture, what he is indicates something using his fingers and putting it hands, and there is another picture you see. Why? All these are full of expressions, okay, using his actually he is using every part of his body to show something, to indicate something. So I would like to show you something more. Partha Pratim Majumdar, and along with his family, you know, he is the one of the best, one of the pioneer of miming in Bangladesh. So, dear learners, that is the main text, you know. You have this in your book also. So, let's start. You can follow me. I'd like to read it for you. Okay? Okay. So, you see, before the beginning of human language, communication took place between human through signs and gesture. You see that, signs and gesture. As humans began to use their vocal cords, these silent gestures were no longer used as primary means of communications. I'd like to tell you something that, you know, before coming to the language, people communicate with others, and there's some medium that is using signs and gestures. And when the language has been invented or took place, that the silent gesture or the signs that are no longer used. But you don't say that these are completely disappear. No, there is not completely disappear. They evolved as a form of art which came to known as mime. All right, I think you understand. That is called mime. That is still there, that are the type of art are practicing across the world, and that is called mime. All right. And in Bangladeshi village, a little boy came to know about mime as he watched a performance in his village. So remember, whenever we are talking about Partha Pratim Majumdar, he was a boy and he enjoyed a performance in his village. He was so fascinated by the show that he was determined to master this art. Can you remember one thing? He became mesmerized. He enjoyed this show and he determined to learn this art. The name of that little boy was Partha Pratim Majumdar, I said earlier. And who was that boy? That boy was Partha Pratim Majumdar. Okay. Mozumdar is undoubtedly a forerunner in the field of mime in Bangladesh. Okay, he's the undoubtedly, that is certainly, he's the forerunner. Forerunner means he is the starter, he's the beginner. Okay, he started as a musician, and his keen sense of rhythm helped him to let his limbs move and express his thoughts through gestures. So actually, he started his career as a musician, and this type of rhythm helped him to understand very clearly the art of miming, because he learned how to use or how to express his thoughts through gestures. All right, gesture means, you understand, that is used in body language. Parthopratim Mojumdar is the first Bangladeshi to take up mime as a profession. All right, you understand that. He was the first person who take that as a profession. He performed to a number of television shows in Bangladesh and gained popularity. All right, he performed various shows that was telecast in television. In his mimes, Mojumdar depicted the day-to-day life of the people, their sadness, tears, as well as their happiness and laughter. You can remember one thing, that he depicted everything that could be sadness, that could be happiness in his performance. Mojumdar's turning point came in 1979 when he was asked to give a solo performance at Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy. So remember, dear student, one thing, that 1979, that is the turning point of his life. Because of what? Because he was asked to present a solo performance in Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy. The then French ambassador Louis Morio happened to be among the audience. That is more important. So in that show, French ambassador was there. Mr. Morio. In 1981, the French government offered him a scholarship so that he could get professional training in mime. So we remember, as there was a French ambassador and he noticed the talent of Mojumdar, and then the French government, he worked to get professional training in French. This was the first time that a student was granted a French scholarship in mime. Can you remember that? He was the first Bangladeshi who got that type of scholarship in miming in French. Mojumdar started his training under the legendary maestro Etienne Decorex. Through Decorex, he met another celebrated mime artist named Marcel Marceau. So remember, he started his training under the maestro Etienne Decorex. So it is a French name. And after that, he met another celebrated miming artist, that is Marcel Marceau. Marceau has transformed modern mime by taking it to an unimaginable height. All right. So Marceau is the person that who took this profession, took this art into unimaginable, and he was the first person. All right, who took this in unimaginable height, and he gave them the modern form. Marceau was very impressed by the young Bangladeshi, young talent, and offered him give him a place in his school for miming, named Ecole Internationale de. So that is a French name. All right, try to understand. And Marceau got the chance. All right, Mojumdar got the chance for training in this miming school. That was the school for miming. You see, that is the name of the school. That is in French language. This mime school is the biggest and the best in the world. So that is the biggest and best, you understand. All right. And he got the chance to study over there. During his 3 years training period, Mojumdar practiced 16 to 8 hours daily till each and every bone in his body would feel like breaking. So I said it earlier that there was a training period about 3 years, and he worked around 16 to 18 hours daily. For that, each and every body, every part of his body feel breaking. Okay. So after his time with Marceau, there was no looking back for Mojumdar. All right. So after receiving the training, he did not need to look back. He staged solo performance in England, Belgium, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the USA. You know, he performed so many solo performances in those countries. French, Canadian, and the American TV television channels enthusiastically aired his shows. So you have to notice that French, the Canadian, and the American TV channels aired his shows lively across the country. In 2009, a French play featuring Majumdar won the Molière Award, which is the highest distinction in the French theatre. So, but that is very recent. In 2009, there was a featuring film, there was a featuring play that Molière Award, he got this award, and that is the highest in that country. As a pioneer of the art of mime in Bangladesh and for popularizing the artistic genre, Bangladesh government honored the artist with the Ekushe Padak in 2010. So, as he was the pioneer, I said, as he was the starter in Bangladesh, and for that, to honor him, Bangladesh government has given him Ekushe Padak in 2010. The government of France has also honored him for his contribution to the art of miming throughout the world with one of the highest cultural awards of France titled Chevalier d'Audry. As you see, that is French name. In there is a bracket in English. You can see that Knight in the Order of Arts and Letters. So there is another contribution. The French government give him another award, that is Knight in the Order of Art and Letters. Knight, all right, in the year 2011. Do you understand? So that is all about Pattoprotim Majumdar. Okay, let's see, dear students. Now you have vocabulary presentations. What is the first one? That is forerunner. Forerunner means what? You understand? That is pioneer, the starter, I say, the beginner. All right. There is evolved. Evolved, that means develop. Evolve means to develop, to promote. Okay. There is another word, lizard. Lizard means, you know, that is celebrity. Okay. Okay. There is enthusiastically. Enthusiastically means what? That is actively, enthusiastically, with much eager. And mime. Mime means what? That is act out, display, or show something on a particular show, right? And there is another genre. Genre means type. We said that is mime is a type of genre. It is an art. Okay. So there is vocabulary for you. And now we have MCQ sections. You see there will be 7. You know, all of you know. There will be 7 questions. Okay. There are 7 parts. So what is the first one? Look. Being impressed, Marcio offered Majumdar a post in his what? Can you remember? Marcio gave him chance. In where? School for boxing, school for music, school for mime, school for dancing. What is the answer? You can see. School for miming. You write that one. Okay. Number 2. They evolved as a form of art. Here the word evolved means what? Alright, evolved means what? Develop. You see, that is develop, requested, taught, and broke. What is the answer? Evolved means developed. Okay, that is promote. Number 3. Patso gained a dash in 1981. What he got in? Can you remember? There is a mention in the text. Award, medal, certificate, French government scholarship. What he got? Yes. After 2 years he got that French government scholarship. He got in 1981. Okay. Number 4. Majumdar is undoubtedly a forerunner in the field of what? Here forerunner means what? Okay. Forerunner means predecessor, reputation, taught, personality. What is the answer? Forerunner means predecessor, that starter, that is a beginner. I think you know, pioneer. And number 5. Dash was a mime artist. Who was a mime artist? Can you remember? John, Louis, Marcio, or Marcel? Marcel was the mime artist. Okay, then the word enthusiastically can be replaced by, can you remember? Enthusiastically can be replaced. What we can put another word? Earnestly, promptly, sincerely, or spontaneously. What? So the answer is spontaneously, enthusiastically, spontaneously. Partho began his career as A or N. What? Can you remember? He started his career as a musician, artist, dancer, teacher. He was started his career as a musician. All right. So that was. Now we have ask and answer questions, and for that you have to read the text again, and then you will answer the following questions. What are the first questions? You know there are 10 marks. This question carries 2 marks. You know it very well already. So the number 1, from your reading of the paragraph 1 of the passage, write about the process of communication, primitive people. Can you remember? So before invention of the language, how the primitive people to communicate with others. So from the beginning of the paragraph 1, I came to know that primitive people communicated through various signs and gestures. You understand very well. They use various signs and gestures. They use body language. All right. So there was the prime communication system at that time. Why did Majumdar stage solo performance? Can you remember? Why did? Yes, he performed. Majumdar staged his solo performances in many countries, like what? Like England, Belgium, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the USA. In those countries, he performed his solo performance. And the number 3, that is, why did the French government offer him scholarship? Can you remember? Why did the French government offer him scholarship? The French government offered him scholarship so that he could receive professional training on miming. Okay. Then there is another one. What helped Partho to express himself clearly while performing mime? Can you remember? What helped him? Yes. Partho's keen sense of rhythm helped him to express himself clearly while performing mime. So that is actually as he started his career as a musician, and he know the art of rhythm, and that helped him a lot to perform outstanding. Okay. And that is number 5. When did mime touch Majumdar's heart? Can you remember? When did that he decided that he would be a miming artist? So mime touched Majumdar's heart when he was a little boy and was watching a performance in his village. Can you remember? That was there is a hint in the passage earlier. So when he was a mere boy, he took this as a profession, and he decided that he would be a mime artist. So that is all for me from today. So thank you so much for being with me, and if you like those classes, please share it so that someone else can enjoy my classes. And stay safe and stay connected.